Well, we're live, and thanks for calling and tuning in and listening to this information that I think you'll be very, very pleased to know about. It's uh, agreement number 3 of the 4 agreements written by Don Miguel Ruiz. Agreement number 3 is don't make assumptions. Agreement number 1 is be impeccable with your word. Be impeccable with your word. Agreement number 2 is I forgot what it was. Don't take things personally. So I'm not really sure what the other side of that would be. I don't like negative stuff. So when you say don't, we get into the non-conscious, but the thing is that don't when you say don't take anything personally, what happens is you take things personally. Instead of saying don't take things personally, just realize everybody has their thing. Let them do what they do. It's about them. It's not about you. Agreement number 4 is don't make assumptions. Maybe we ought to say, consider the facts. The reason why is because the book, agreement number 3, teaches that making assumptions is the greatest single source of unnecessary suffering in our lives, or one of the greatest sources of unnecessary suffering. That's true. That we assume what others think, feel, and mean, and then we react emotionally as if those assumptions are facts. So there's a huge difference between assumptions and facts in most cases. The author encourages us to replace the assumptions with clear communication. Ask questions, express what we really mean, and seek truth from the others instead of illusion. When we stop assuming, we reclaim clarity, reduce drama, and build authentic relationships grounded in reality, grounded in truth, rather than fear. The author basically says that true freedom and healthy relationships emerge when we replace those assumptions with clear and courageous communication grounded in curiosity and truth. The word that I think is really unique there and very, very specific and poignant is courageous. Courageous communication. Because when we seek truth, sometimes that's pretty courageous to do instead of just letting things fall where they may. We'll have 5 talking points here that I want to hit on real quick. The first talking point is assumptions are the root of misunderstanding. We believe that our interpretations are facts. In fact, that's not normally the case. We fill in gaps with fear or past experiences. Most interpersonal conflicts begin with false narratives. And assumptions often go unspoken and unchallenged. Man, I'm not very good at ESP, extrasensory perception. And sometimes my assumptions are just absolutely totally wrong. So clarify. Clarify is really an important word. So if you're unsure about something, clarify. Number 2, we create entire stories without evidence. If you don't believe me, try to recall some of your dreams. Some of the stories that your dreams come up with are pretty interesting. Okay, so there's evidence because of the way the mind works, but there's no logic behind any of that. Because the mind seeks certainty, even when it's wrong. We personalize others' actions without context. They did that because of what I did. Well, maybe not. Maybe they did that because of what they wanted. We predict outcomes that haven't happened, and these stories can feel emotionally real, even though they're not real. Talking point number 3, assumptions fuel emotional reactivity. Assumptions fuel emotional reactivity. We respond, react, to imagined offenses. If we think someone's offended us, when in fact they haven't been thinking about us nearly as much as we think they've been thinking about us. Hurt feelings often stem from misinterpretation. My feelings are hurt because you didn't do something. And we escalate situations unnecessarily, and emotional suffering becomes self generated by us. Key point number 4, clear communication is the antidote. Ask questions instead of guessing. Say what you mean with clarity and kindness. Maybe ask them to do the same. Say what you mean with clarity and kindness. Seek understanding before reacting. It's okay to react, but it's really better to respond instead of reacting. Seek understanding. It's reminiscent of Stephen Covey's habit number 5 of the 7 habits of highly effective people. Seek first to understand and then to be understood. Well, this one says seek understanding before reacting. Good call. And finally, courageous conversations reduce confusion. Courageous conversations reduce confusion. You want to be sure that the people aren't reacting on something you didn't say or didn't think. Finally, the last talking point is freedom comes from truth, not illusion. Letting go of needing to be right. You don't need to be right all the time. Replace judgment with curiosity. Stay grounded in what is known, not imagined. And peace comes from clarity and authenticity. So here's a question for you at work or in your relationships. How many of your current frustrations are based on facts versus stories you've created in your own mind based on what you see? As a conclusion, I'll wrap this up. We'll just say stop making assumptions. And when we do, we stop living in a world we've invented and start living in reality. Agreement number 3, do not make assumptions, invites us into courage. We talked about courage before. The courage to ask and clarify and communicate honestly. Communication meaning both ways. Give and receive, give and receive, give and receive. In doing so, we eliminate unnecessary suffering and open the door to deeper connection, deeper trust, and internal peace. And then this last thought I want to leave with you. Clarity isn't just kindness to others. It's liberating ourselves. Clarity, as opposed to assumptions, isn't just kindness, it's liberation for ourselves. So we don't have to worry about making up a story that we don't even know about. Number 1, be impeccable with your word. Number 2, don't take anything personally. Number 3, don't make assumptions. Great book, great ideas, great power. I hope this has been helpful for you. It's been helpful for me as we've talked about this on our daily mastermind. If you want to know about our daily mastermind, you're welcome to call me or email me, paul@wilsonabq.com. I'd be happy to include you on our daily mastermind. If you want to talk about some programs we have, we'd be happy to do that too. Website is wakeupyourgenius.com. You are a genius. You didn't know that? You are. Yeah, but my IQ is not very high. It doesn't matter. Your IQ is an indication of what your genius is. But genius is much more than that. Genius is working in your brilliance, working in your purpose, working in your natural gifts and abilities, and working in your spiritual gifts if you have a spiritual gift set. And if you're doing that and you are aligned with who you are and your wiring is such and such and such and so, if you are working in your environment and in your lane, you're a genius. So wake up your genius. You want to know more about that? Give me a call. I'll be happy to talk with you. We can see if we can work together. If we can't work together, it's okay. Can't work with everybody. I only have so much time and space. And I would like to be able to help you get energized so that you are in the right lane and working at your full potential so you can make full impact in your life. Life is too short. God bless you. We'll talk soon. Have a great day. Have a great week. We'll hopefully talk to you on this other side, on the other side.